So hi, my name is Petr Čermák, and I work as a local contact in Czech National Research Infrastructure, MGML. In work, I'm taking care of 20 Tesla and 9 Tesla cryomagnets. I'm developing their instrument control software, Nikos, and as well, I'm fixture ambassador, and I like open data. And of course, I do science. I will try to construct unique robotic device for small crystal co-alignment, which will be a true revolution, I think, in the field of neutron scattering sample preparation. I'm open science maximalist. I believe that fully opening research will rapidly speed up scientific development in all areas. And in my opinion, everyone will benefit from results sharing. Finally, it's a win-win situation, but people are not aware of it. So that's, I think, the main reason why I spent, let's say, quite a lot of my time by advertising and educating people about open science. People are thinking that their research is so unique that they also need to analyze their data. I think that scientists should be more honored for publishing just raw data without publication. This is something very new. It's a new approach. Normally, you are learned also on university that you need to, let's say, evaluate all the data which you measured. But nowadays, a lot of instruments are very complicated, and it requires a lot of effort to do the experiment properly. And the same is with the data evaluation. Some tools, some software tools are very difficult, and you need to be really an expert to work with some kind of software to be able to correctly, let's say, evaluate the data. So why just one person needs to do everything? So I'm happy that there are now new high impact journals like Nature Scientific Data, for example. And I hope that this will change in the future so that people will learn that, oh, you can be famous just by doing great experiments or growing great single crystals, or just by analyzing the data, what someone else measured. So I think when this mentality will change, it will speed up the process of the whole scientific process will be then much faster and much more, let's say, agile. It's highly possible that in many areas, especially areas which has some history, specifically the treating of the powder data from the neutrons and also X-rays. This was done before 30 years or something, and the approaches are like still old-fashioned. On the other hand, with the time of flight data, this is very new technique, which is producing like gigabytes of data, terabytes sometimes. And this is much more better. So the tools, because the tools are created nowadays from the scratch. And scientists are often, I don't know, I think it's because they think, oh, this will be another bureaucracy. It will be more paperwork for me to open the data. I think it's not true. You don't need to fill any form. Okay, first, I like this abbreviation, and it's really demonstrating the basic principles. What I will just add, I'm telling it to everyone, I will add one more letter, which is important, especially in connection with big infrastructures like ILL. I think there should be also T for trustworthy. It's very important to publish data which you can trust. They were not modified. But ILL is publishing all the data, and you can be sure that all these data were really measured and not modified. So this is very important also, and this is not included in the FAIR principles yet. And but yeah, you ask for the tools. Finally, I think there is everything. There are repositories like Figshare or Zenodo where you can store basically unlimited amount of data. There are institutional repositories like ILL Data Portal, which provides, in addition, this trustworthy for the data. And there are a lot of tools. There is a GitHub, so you can store your scripts. There is a Jupyter notebook system, so you can use Python or any other programming language to evaluate your data and scripts. And what a lot of people don't know, there is a binder service, and this is a website where you can just basically put the address of repository and GitHub, and if it's properly done, it will run all the scripts there, and it is a free. You will just click, then you will wait for a few minutes, like 10 minutes. It will install whole the computer with the correct versions, and then it will run the analysis, and this will work even after 10 years, after 50 years. So if you publish everything properly, you can be then sure that your data are really fair in sense that they are properly also described by the scripts finally. So I think there is, all tools are there. What is missing is education, and scientists are not aware of it. I think especially EOS can have a for sure positive impact on science. If the EOS will focus a lot on education and how to treat the data in an open way, and also teaching people how they will benefit from opening the data. By changing the mind of the young people, it's much easier, and when they will be supervisors, it will be then different. So I think this will take at least one generation. And yeah, then what other thing is to force the universities to teach also the programming more as a scripting, and how to openly describe the data. A short story, we took an open data from one Hercules course measurement at IN3 triple axis spectrometer at ILL. It was a measurement of phonons in silicon single crystal. And students succeeded to measure 1 point of dispersion relation. And it was obviously never published, because normally you don't publish the data from Hercules school. But we did it, and we wrote the manuscript. This took a little bit longer, but it was submitted to archive in the evening during the same day. So I believe that by that we really demonstrated that it's easy to openly describe and publish your data. So it's not so much effort. For example, the possibility to publish the data even during the experiment and during the measurement, this is like great. I haven't seen it in any other facility. And you are right that ILL was one of the first facilities which opens this data. And now I think everyone is just trying to copy this approach. We are like doing it in our facility MGML as well, and we are like reading your data policies and try to learn from them. So it's a really great, and it opens many ways for collaboration, and finally it speeds up also evaluation of the data. Maybe one advantage of open data, which is not mentioned so much, is that what very often happens is that someone is measuring the data, and then you will start to evaluate the data. You will show your, because very often you will immediately start to evaluate the data after the experiment, and you will show it to your to your boss, and he will then think, okay, you need to do this, and then it will take longer and longer. and then this guy will leave the facility or something, and then the data will never be analyzed. And then this is a big loss for the institution, for the university, because basically there was some wasted time by preparing the proposal, going to measuring, preparing the sample, and now no one understands the data. And okay, then the data will be published by ILL after 5 years, or maybe the facility can request and log in there and access it earlier. But to understand the data without someone who was there, it's really difficult. But if he will be like, let's say, publishing the scripts, how to treat the data from the beginning, and storing it in some institutional repository, which is now also, I think, the way for universities. And a lot of universities has, for example, accounts on Figshare. They have their own private space on Figshare. And then the universities will learn also, oh, this is very important. And we should also force finally the students to publish, not publish. I don't mean that they need to publish the scripts like publicly, but they should store it in the way in their university repositories. And when the manuscript it's prepared and ready, they will just publish the data. They will just tick this option there, but the script will be there from the beginning. So it will preserve the data for others. And there will come a new student and he will be able to understand what the previous student did. If the people will also publish the scripts and the raw data will be there, or the raw data are already there, published by ILL, it's much easier to learn how the proper analysis should be taken care. So, like altogether, it will for sure help other scientists to join the club finally, and the impact will be that maybe these countries will later become members of ILL, which will be great, of course. I think if it's like forced by the, well, finally it should be forced by referees. So when I referee some research, I often request the raw data, but then this is easy. You will like receive the raw data, and then it will take like ages to evaluate them. Because now also in the scientific journals are then forced, oh, please, you need to accept it soon, because otherwise other group measured the same data. So we need really to get through the review process fastly, because otherwise, if it's first published in Science and not in Nature, then of course it will be, people will be citing this science paper. So there is also competition between these journals, which is like wrong as well. And so, but finally, if the data will be already published, then it doesn't matter. Then everyone can work with original data. The data are there, and they will always cite the data. Everyone will cite the data from this point. So I don't understand why everyone is not thinking in the same way as me, but I hope this will change in the future.